People spend from 5 to 7 years scrolling through social media in their entire lives. Just let that sink in for a moment. Years of precious life vanishing into an endless stream of forgettable content. But here's what fascinates me. We're not scrolling because we truly want to. We're scrolling because we've forgotten how to be bored in a world that's constantly fighting for our attention. I discovered this the hard way last summer when my phone broke during a long weekend. At first, panic set in, that familiar anxiety of being disconnected. But then something extraordinary happened. Those empty moments I usually filled with scrolling transformed into what scientists at the University of Central Lancashire called productive boredom, a state that enhances our creativity and mental clarity. What I learned during those 3 days without my digital crutch changed my entire perspective on how we can transform moments of boredom into catalysts for personal growth and genuine joy. Today, I'm sharing 7 powerful alternatives to mindless scrolling, but these aren't your typical find a hobby suggestions. These are tested, transformative approaches that I've both tried myself and seen work for others. And trust me, the last method, something I stumbled upon by complete accident, has the power to revolutionize not just how you spend your free time, but how you view your entire life journey. Let's start with what I call the time travel technique. Instead of consuming other people's carefully curated memories, become the curator of your own life's museum. Use your phone's camera not for selfies, but as a tool for storytelling. Challenge yourself to capture moments that tell a story about your world. The way morning light creates shadows on your bedroom wall, the changing expressions of strangers in a cafe, the subtle signs of seasons shifting in your neighborhood. A friend of mine tried this and discovered an entire hidden world of street art in her city that she'd walked past every day for years without noticing. This leads us to the detective challenge, a powerful way to transform your familiar environment into uncharted territory. The premise is simple. Treat your neighborhood like an undiscovered country. Walk for 15 minutes in any direction with the sole purpose of finding something you've never noticed before. The magic happens when you realize that extraordinary discoveries often hide in plain sight. One of my subscribers found a community garden that eventually became their sanctuary for weekend meditation. Another discovered a tiny bookshop that now hosts their monthly poetry readings. The skills roulette method adds an element of playful randomness to personal growth. Instead of defaulting to scroll when boredom strikes, assign different skills you want to learn to each hour on the clock. When you feel that urge to reach for social media, check the time and spend just 15 minutes on whatever skill corresponds to that hour. It's amazing how these micro-learning sessions accumulate into real expertise over time. I learned basic guitar this way, practicing just 15 minutes at a time during my lunch breaks. Now, let's talk about what I call joy archaeology. This involves diving into your personal history not just to reminisce, but to actively recreate moments of pure engagement from your past. Remember building blanket forts as a kid? Or creating elaborate stories with action figures? These weren't just childish pastimes, they were moments of complete immersion and creativity. By recreating these experiences with an adult perspective, you can rediscover what truly engages your spirit. The random acts of creativity approach transforms boredom into an opportunity for spreading joy. Leave anonymous notes of encouragement in library books. Create tiny art installations in unexpected places. Write poetry on coffee cup sleeves. These small creative acts not only fight boredom, but create ripples of positive energy in your community. One of my followers started doing this during lockdown and ended up inspiring a whole neighborhood to exchange anonymous acts of kindness. The Future Self Thank You Project takes a unique approach to personal development. Instead of watching others' progress videos, create time capsule messages for your future self. Record your thoughts, dreams, and current challenges, then set calendar reminders to review them. This practice not only fills empty moments with purpose, but creates a fascinating documentary of your personal growth journey. And finally, the method that changed everything for me, the curiosity spiral. This approach treats every object and experience as a portal to discovery. Choose any ordinary item in your space and give yourself 30 minutes to learn everything you can about its history, creation, or cultural significance. This simple practice has led me down fascinating paths of discovery. My curiosity about how my favorite YouTubers create those seamless transitions led me to dive into video editing. What started as a simple search for basic cuts turned into me discovering the whole world of visual storytelling. I found myself spending hours experimenting with different editing techniques, learning how to create satisfying rhythm-based edits, and playing with color grading to set different moods. Now, whenever I feel that urge to scroll mindlessly, I catch myself opening my editing software instead, tweaking transitions, perfecting the timing of cuts, or experimenting with new effects. It's incredible how something that began from a moment of boredom has transformed into a creative skill that lets me tell stories in ways I never imagined possible. Remember, every moment of boredom is a crossroads, a choice between mindless consumption and mindful creation. These methods aren't just alternatives to scrolling, they're gateways to a more engaged, purposeful life. Our time is too precious to spend in an endless scroll of other people's highlights. Instead, let's create our own stories worth sharing. Share your experiences with these methods in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on living with intention in our digital age. Together, we can transform those empty moments into opportunities for growth, creativity, and genuine connection. Until next time, stay curious, not scrolling.